Good evening, my lovely nurses. I hope you are fine and your family is good. Today, my topic is Addison's disease. Is a very important topic for all exams. So please be with me and learn until end because I will discuss many important points, exam related tips. So stay with me and watch until end this all complete lecture. So, Addison disease, just imagine a body without its natural stress shield. So, if the body has less natural stress shield, so what is happen? That is Addison disease. In Addison disease, the body is without its natural stress shield. So, in this condition, what is happening? The adrenal glands. So, I will make a picture there. For example, this is our kidney. Bad picture, but I just want to understand you. So, for example, this is our kidney. This is adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. So, the adrenal gland is a very tiny organ that sit above the kidney. The sit above the kidney. This is adrenal gland. So, what happened in Addison's disease? This adrenal gland failed to produce enough of the very vital hormone, that is cortisol and aldosterone. Cortisol and aldosterone. These hormones are very important. What they are doing, these hormones are controlling our blood pressure. They are controlling our energy, fluid balance, and how we respond to stress. How we respond to stress. So without them, just imagine if cortisol and aldosterones are less in our body, or we have less this one, the cortisol or aldosterone, and adrenal glands are not producing enough cortisol and aldosterone. Without them, the body becomes weak, blood pressure will drops, uh, and even a minor illness can turn into a medical emergency. So today we will explore Addison's disease in simple words. We will discuss about its causes, symptoms, and the nursing care so that we can recognize it early and respond quickly to protect our patient lives. So the Addison disease, we are also called primary adrenal insufficiency. Primary adrenal insufficiency. Because the adrenal gland that sit on top of the kidneys are like small hormone factories. So you will not forget, we can say is a small hormone factories. They make cortisol and aldosterone. The cortisol is a stress hormone. This is stress hormone is maintain our blood sugar, blood pressure and energy. So blood pressure, blood sugar and energy. The aldosterone is what aldosterone is doing. Aldosterone, salt and water balancer. The aldosterone is a salt and water balancer. Balancer means it keeps sodium and potassium in balance. Sodium and potassium in balance. This is the process of the aldosterone. So aldosterone is a salt and water balancer. Sodium and potassium will be in balance, and it also regulate our blood pressure. So in Addison disease, what happened? In Addison disease, these glands do not produce enough cortisol and aldosterone. So once they will not produce enough cortisol and aldosterone, what will happen? The low blood pressure, low sugar, low sodium, high potassium, weakness, and skin darkening. I will tell you why skin darkening in the next slides. The cortisol and aldosterone are important to maintain blood sugar, blood pressure, energy. The aldosterone is the salt and water balancer. Keep our sodium and potassium in balance, regulate our also blood pressure. So once this one is not, once the adrenal gland are not producing enough cortisol and aldosterone, what will happen? We have low blood pressure, low sugar, low sodium, high potassium. These are the exam points. So keep in your mind low sodium, high potassium, weakness and skin darkening. This is the introduction of the Addison disease. Now we will talk about the causes of Addison disease. So the causes of Addison disease, the main cause is autoimmune. The main cause is autoimmune. What is autoimmune? The body immune system. The body immune system attacks the adrenal glands. Attacks the adrenal gland. The adrenal gland that is on the top of the kidney, the small tiny glands. The body immune system attacks to the adrenal gland. This is the main cause of the Addison disease. The second cause is TB, the tuberculosis, or infection. Infection. Which infection? HIV or fungal. These are the also causes of the Addison disease. The third cause is cancer or surgery. Surgery. Which surgery? For example, some kidney surgery that damage the adrenal glands. Damage the adrenal glands. The next cause is long-term steroid use. Long-term steroid use. And for example, one patient is taking long-term steroid and he stops suddenly. Suddenly stopped. So once the patient will suddenly stop the steroid, what will happen? The adrenal glands forget how to make cortisol. In easy words, so you will not forget. So once the patient is taking long-term steroids, suddenly he stops to take the steroids. So what will happen? The adrenal glands will forget how to make the cortisol. That is also the cause of the Addison disease. For example, I will give one example there. A patient taking prednisone. Prednisone is a steroid for asthma. So patient is taking prednisone daily for asthma and he stops suddenly. So what will happen? Adrenal crisis will be there. Adrenal glands will not produce enough cortisol and aldosterone. So always educate the patient. Don't stop steroids suddenly. Should have to contact with the healthcare provider. So if the patient suddenly stop the steroids, the adrenal crisis will be there. Now we will talk about the pathophysiology of the Addison disease in the simple words. So pathophysiology, if I will talk about, if the cortisol is low, what will happen? So the body cannot handle stress. If the cortisol is low, the body cannot handle stress. So once the body cannot handle stress, what will happen? Patient have fatigue, weakness, and low glucose. So once the patient cannot have low cortisol, the body cannot handle stress, and due to this reason patient have fatigue, weakness, and the low blood sugar. Number 2, if aldosterone is low. If aldosterone is low, what will happen? The kidneys lose sodium and water. If aldosterone is low, the kidneys lose sodium and water. So once the kidneys lose sodium and water, what will happen? Patient have dehydration and low blood pressure. Potassium will build up. And once potassium will be built up, there will be hyperkalemia. Because increased potassium is going up. Hyperkalemia, and due to hyperkalemia, patient have arrhythmias, the heart problems. Now, if, this is very important, if ACTH from the pituitary is high, mean what pituitary is doing is try to wake up adrenals. So extra ACTH causes melanin stimulation. I will explain about the ACTH. We will talk about ACTH. What is ACTH? ACTH is adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, what is it? Actually, the ACTH is a hormone made by the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is a very small gland in the brain. So, think of it like a messenger or an alarm clock. In easy words, so you will not forget. So ACTH is like a messenger on an alarm clock. So here pituitary is the boss. So you will understand easily. So pituitary is the boss. ACTH is the message. And adrenal gland is the worker. Worker mean who makes cortisol. So pituitary is the boss, ACTH is the message, and the adrenal gland is the worker who's making cortisol. How it works? The ACTH, the pituitary gland, the system, how it works, we can say the normal feedback loop. So when the body is in stress, or when cortisol is low, because once the cortisol is low, the stress will be high. So once the body is in stress and the cortisol is low, pituitary sends out ACTH. The pituitary is sending ACTH to the adrenal gland. So ACTH travel in the blood to the adrenal glands. So ACTH travels in the blood. This is number one. ACTH travel in the blood to the adrenal gland. So ACTH travel, and then number one is once the body in stress or the cortisol is low. That is our number 1 point. The number 2 point is ACTH travel in the blood to the adrenal gland. Then number 3. What happened in number 3? Adrenal responds by releasing cortisol. Adrenal respond by releasing cortisol. So adrenal respond by releasing cortisol. The number 4 is when cortisol levels are high enough. When cortisol levels are high enough, what will happen? The pituitary stops sending ACTH. So what pituitary is doing? Pituitary actually is the adrenocorticotropic hormone. Once the patient is in stress, cortisol is low, pituitary is sending ACTH in the bloodstream to the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, what they are doing, releasing the cortisol. So once the cortisol level is enough high, the pituitary gland stops to make the ACTH. So this is the normal phenomena. This is the normal, this one we can say is a feedback loop. But what happened in Addison's disease? What's the role of ACTH in the Addison disease? The adrenal gland, actually they are weak and cannot make enough cortisol in the Addison disease. So the pituitary tries harder, because the adrenal glands are not making enough cortisol. The normal feedback is patient is in stress because the cortisol is low. The pituitary is sending ACTH to the bloodstream through the bloodstream to the adrenal glands, and then the adrenal glands starting to make the cortisol. And once the enough cortisol is there, the pituitary gland stop to make the send the ACTH. But in Addison disease, the adrenal glands are not making enough cortisol and aldosterone. So in this condition, what pituitary is doing? Pituitary tries harder. Because pituitary wants the adrenal glands will make cortisol. So pituitary tries harder. He release more ACTH. He is releasing ACTH normally, but in this Addison disease, the pituitary tries harder to release more ACTH. What happening if extra ACTH stimulates melanin? So once there is extra ACTH, it will stimulate melanin. What is melanin? Melanin is a skin pigmentation. The melanin, the other name of melanin is skin pigmentation. So once there is skin pigment, what will happen? They will cause hyperpigmentation. I told you, I will discuss about the skin hyperpigmentation in the next slides. So this is due to extra ACTH. The skin pigmentation is there. The hyperpigmentation, we are telling bronze skin. Bronze skin. So in the question, maybe they write bronze skin. So this one due to extra ACTH. So this is the all explanation of the ACTH, the adrenocorticotropic hormone. The who's making? Pituitary gland is making. Now we will talk about the sign and symptoms. Sign and symptom of Addison disease. So in the sign and symptoms, Addison. Think about add. Add mean we can say all is down except potassium and pigmentation. So in Addison, so you will not forget, all is down except potassium and hyperpigmentation. So what happening in the chronic symptoms? If I will talk about chronic symptoms, in the chronic symptoms, patient has extreme fatigue, patient have weight loss despite normal appetite. Patient is feeling hungry, but still patient weight is lost. Then patient have low blood pressure. So due to low blood pressure, patient have dizziness and fainting. Then hyperpigmentation because ACTH, extra ACTH. So hyperpigmentation means dark skin in the creases, scars, elbows, knees, gums. So everywhere the skin is dark, bronze skin. Salt craving. Why salt craving? Because patient have low sodium. So patient want to eat more sodium. So salt cravings. GI is upset. In the GI, patient have nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, low glucose. Due to low glucose, you can keep in your mind the hypoglycemia sign symptoms. Patient is shaky, sweaty, confused. So keep in your mind hypoglycemia sign symptom. Patient has depression, irritability. Patient have Addison crisis, that is emergency. So these are the sign symptoms that all Addison patients have. But the Addison crisis, how you know patient is really an emergency condition, and we have to implement as fast as we can. So I can say their emergency. Addison crisis. Addison crisis. So in Addison crisis, severe hypotension, shock. So keep in your mind the shock sign symptoms. There is a important two shock sign symptom: tachycardia, hypotension. So shock sign symptom: severe hypoglycemia, severe hyperkalemia. Potassium is too much high, and due to severe hyperkalemia, what will happen? Arrhythmias, cardiac arrest, and the dehydration. So if patient have these symptoms, it means patient is in Addison crisis, and this is a life-threatening situation. Now we will talk about diagnose. How we diagnose, how we know patient has Addison disease. So we have to do some blood test. Which blood test we will do? We will check patient's sodium. The normal sodium is 135 to 145. And in Addison disease, what will happen? In Addison disease is less than 130. Then the potassium normal is 3.5 to 5 MEq per liter. But in Addison disease is more than 5.5. As I told you, everything is down except potassium and the pigmentation. So sodium is low, potassium is high. Then we will check the glucose. The normal glucose is 70 to 110 milligram per dl, but in Addison disease is less than 70. We are doing also ACTH stimulation test. Normal person cortisol rises after ACTH injection. So ACTH stimulation, how they are doing? They are giving the injection, and in the normal person cortisol rises after ACTH injection. Cortisol rises in the normal person after ACTH injection. But in Addison cortisol stay low. Cortisol stay low. So diagnose sodium, potassium, glucose, ACTH stimulation test. In the normal person, cortisol rises once they are giving ACTH injection, but in Addison, cortisol stay low. Now we will talk about the treatment. The treatment, we are giving daily hormone replacement, that is lifelong. Daily hormone replacement and is lifelong. For the cortisol, we are giving hydrocortisone. For example, the prednisone. Hydrocortisone and prednisone we are giving for cortisol. For the aldosterone, we are giving fludrocortisone. We are also telling Florinef. Fludocortisone or Florinef. During stress, for example, during Stress if patient have infection, any surgery, any trauma, double or triple the steroid dose. So if the patient have infection, any surgery, any trauma, so the doctor should have to double or triple the steroid dose. Stress dose steroid, we are telling this one, stress dose steroids in this infection condition, surgery condition, or trauma condition. Now we will talk about emergency. If patient have adrenal crisis, so IV hydrocortisone replace cortisone fast. A patient is taking before oral. Now here we will give IV hydrocortisone. We will give IV fluids, for example, normal saline plus dextrose to fix hydration, sodium loss, hypoglycemia, because in the crisis, so just think in your mind, we will handle the patient, we will treat the patient as per his sign and symptoms. So in sign and symptoms, patient has hyperkalemia, patient has hypoglycemia, patient has the shock sign symptoms, severe dehydration. So treat as per the sign and symptoms. So IV fluid we will give to fix dehydration, sodium loss and hypoglycemia. We will treat hyperkalemia if severe. So here the patient teaching is very important here in the Addison's disease. In the patient teaching, we will give a medical alert bracelet. Medical alert bracelet. Why we will give this patient the medical alert? So for example, patient came to the emergency, any trauma, any roadside accident happened, patient is unconscious, no any relatives is with the patient, no any knows what happened to the patient. So this medical alert bracelet will alert the medical team the patient has Addison disease. So we will provide medical alert bracelet. Carry emergency hydrocortisone injection. We will educate the patient. Always keep IV hydrocortisone injections with him or her. So carry hydrocortisone injection. Never stop steroids suddenly. Never stop steroid suddenly. As I told you, if patient will stop suddenly, adrenal crisis will be there. Increase salt intake during hot weather or heavy sweating, because the Addison patients have low sodium. So increase sodium during hot weather or the heavy sweating. So this is very important points to understand the treatment. So the treatment is IV hydrocortisone in emergency, IV fluids, treat hyperkalemia, medical bracelet, carry hydrocortisone injection, increase the sodium intake, never stop steroids suddenly, very important exam point. So this is the complete Addison disease topic. Now we will go to our one case scenario. So we will understand more nicely about Addison disease. Okay, so our case scenario is a 45-year-old female is admitted with complaints of chronic fatigue. Keep sign symptom in your mind. Weight loss, dizziness, nausea and darkening of the skin over her elbows and knees, hyperpigmentation, vitals, blood pressure 88/54, hypotension, heart rate 110, tachycardia, temperature is okay 98.2, labs, sodium 128 MEq per L. What is the normal range? 135 to 145. So this is hyponatremia, low sodium, potassium 5.9. The normal is 3.5 to 5. 5.9 is hyperkalemia. Glucose is 60. Normally 70 to 110 milligram per deciliter. Here is 60. Hypoglycemia. So these all sign symptoms are Addison disease. So if you know the sign symptoms, if you know the complete topic, then you can solve the question. So never think, okay, I did the correct answer, so it's okay. No, you have to understand the topic first before going to the question. So she reports she ran out of her prescribed hydrocortisone 1 week ago. 1 week ago, she suddenly stopped the hydrocortisone, means she suddenly stopped the steroids. So now we will go to the questions what they are asking. So first question they ask, recognize cues, mean the which findings support Addison disease. Here select all that apply. So in the question they already told you Addison disease. Sometimes they are not mentioning the disease in the case scenario. They will give you signs, symptoms, they will give you complications, they will give you labs results, they will tell you this medicine patient is taking, but they will not tell you the exact disease name. So you have to understand which disease they are talking about, which topic they are talking about. So they already inform you which findings support the Addison disease. So number A is hypotension. So hypotension, as the patient blood pressure is 88/54, and I discuss in my lecture in the Addison crisis patient has hypotension. If you will see there, patient has actually the Addison crisis. Patient suddenly stop the hydrocortisone, patient blood pressure is low, hypotension, tachycardia is the shock sign symptoms, and sodium is low, potassium is high, glucose is low. So it's mean patient is in Addison crisis. So which findings support Addison disease? Select all that apply. The number one is hypotension. Yes, this is correct. Why? Because low aldosterone, due to low aldosterone, patient has low sodium. Due to low sodium, patient has low blood pressure. So hypotension is the correct answer. Number two, weight loss. Yes, I discuss in my lecture, patient has appetite, patient is feeling hungry, but patient still have low weight loss. So this is correct option. Number C, hyperpigmentation. Yes, due to high ACTH causes skin darkening. So hyperpigmentation, we already discussed, the extra ACTH is the cause of hyperpigmentation. So yes, in Addison disease there is hyperpigmentation. Bradycardia, no. In Addison disease, no bradycardia, should be tachycardia, because the patient is in shock in this question. The Addison crisis is there. No bradycardia, should be tachycardia, because Addison usually causes tachycardia. Body compensate for low blood pressure. So number E is hyperkalemia. Yes, this is correct answer, because in Addison disease, low aldosterone, kidneys cannot excrete potassium. The potassium stay in the kidney. Due to this reason, patient have hyperkalemia. So in first question, our right answer is A, B, C and E. The D is wrong. Now in second question, what they are asking about, prioritize hypothesis. Hypothesis mean the most likely problem. Based on findings, what is the most likely problem? Which of the problem patient is suffering this time? What's the reason patient have this all signs, symptoms and labs result? So number A is adrenal hypersecretion, not adrenal hypersecretion. The adrenal hypersecretion of cortisol in the Cushing disease, Cushing syndrome. My next topic will be the difference between Addison and the Cushing syndrome. That is very important, because the Cushing syndrome and the Addison disease, mostly we are confusing. So I will discuss in my next topic the difference between Cushing syndrome and the the Addison disease. So adrenal hypersecretion is not in the Addison disease. It should be in the Cushing syndrome. So this is wrong. Number B is adrenal hyposecretions of cortisol and aldosterone. Yes, in Addison disease, the adrenal glands are not producing enough cortisol and aldosterone. This is the adrenal hyposecretion of the cortisol and aldosterone. Yes, this is our right answer. Number C, increased pituitary secretion of ACTH. Happens, but cause is adrenal failure, not pituitary. They are talking about in the question, the Addison disease is related to adrenal glands, not related to pituitary. Don't confuse yourself here. Increased pituitary secretion of ACTH Why? Once the adrenal glands are not producing enough cortisol and aldosterone, the ACTH try to wake up adrenal glands. He is sending too much ACTH to the adrenal gland due to the extra. That's why the pituitary increased pituitary secretion of ACTH that can be happen, but is cause of adrenal failure, but not pituitary. So this is not related to the Addison disease here. The priority, thyroid deficiency causes different symptoms like cold, bradycardia, weight gain, the hypothyroidism. You can check my hypothyroidism lecture. The thyroid hormone deficiency in the hypothyroidism, not in the Addison disease. So this is wrong. So here our correct answer is B. Now we will go to the question number 3. Generate solutions. So which provider prescription would the nurse anticipate? Now doctor orders some things, some medicines or some orders are there. So now which prescription would the nurse anticipate? Select all that apply, which option is correct. We have to tick that one. So number A, IV hydrocortisone. Yes, replace missing cortisol because patient has less cortisol, low cortisol. So we will give the hydrocortisone to replace cortisol. So A is correct. Number B, IV normal saline plus 5% dextrose water. Yes, to replace sodium fluids and raise glucose. I discussed in my lecture, and here glucose is low. Patient has hypotension, tachycardia, patient is in shock, dehydration is there. So we will give IV normal saline with 5% dextrose water. Number C, potassium supplements. Dangerous because patient potassium is 5.9 already. Patient already in hyperkalemia. We will never give potassium supplements because already potassium is high. So this is wrong. Monitor cardiac rhythms. Yes, we have to monitor because hyperkalemia can cause arrhythmias. The cardiac monitoring is very important. Encourage salt intake. Yes, because aldosterone can cause salt wasting, mean the hyponatremia, sodium is low. So we are giving increase the salt intake. So we will encourage patient to take more salt. So our right answer is here A, B, D and E. Number 4, take action. What action is the most important to perform immediately? So number A is place a patient on a 2-liter fluid restrictions. Patient is already dehydrated. Patient needs fluid. We will never restrict the fluid. Hypotension, tachycardia is the sign symptom of the shock. We have to give fluid, not restrict the fluid. This is wrong. Administer IV hydrocortisone. Yes, because his life saving must be given first. If patient come with the adrenal crisis, our first line of treatment is hydrocortisone. We have to give IV hydrocortisone. Prepare patient for thyroid scan. No need. This is unrelated. This is not thyroid problem. So this is wrong. Give insulin with glucose. Use for hyperkalemia, but here hydrocortisone plus fluid will fix the root cause. They told you there most important, always read the questions very nicely. Most important is hydrocortisone. Give insulin with glucose. We are using for hyperkalemia, but here hydrocortisone is most important. So this is also wrong. Our right answer is B. Our last question of the case scenario. Evaluate outcome. Which finding indicate that treatment is effective? Now we have to check the options. Which finding is indicating that our treatment is going good, patient is improving. So number A, sodium is increased 128 to 136. Yes, because patient sodium is 128, now 136. It's mean our treatment is effective, patient is improving. Patient already have hyponatremia, low sodium. So we give treatment. Now patient now patient sodium is 136. It means patient is improving. This is the right answer. BP increase 88 by 54 to 88 by 48. No, this is low. This is worse. So this is wrong. Potassium increase 5.9 to 6.5. This is too much worse condition. Mean patient has more hyperkalemia. Glucose decrease from 60 to 50. No, our target is to increase the glucose level, and here is decrease. So this is wrong. So our right answer here is A. So this is the case scenario that we discuss in the exam. Same questions coming in the NCLEX because new generation. So question they will give you case like this, and they will give you questions accordingly, and we have to sort out. If we know the disease, if we know the topic, then we can this one solve the question. So Addison disease is a low cortisol and low aldosterone disease. Low blood pressure, low sodium, high potassium, low glucose, weight loss, fatigue, skin darkening. Life-threatening condition is the adrenal crisis. So we are giving IV hydrocortisone, IV fluids, the lifelong steroids. So NCLEX key points is always give steroids first in crisis. Always give hydrocortisone in the crisis. I hope you like the lecture. If you like, please share and subscribe my YouTube channel. And don't forget to push the icon bell button so you can receive my videos notification. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself and your family. Allah Hafiz.